Welcome. Let's take a look at our top story. Russia is building a new hospital for coronavirus patients. The facility in the capital of Moscow will have over 500 intensive care beds. Meanwhile, coronavirus cases in Russia have surpassed 1,500, while the number of deaths has risen to 8. However, experts have raised concerns that Russia, which shares a long border with China, has been underreporting COVID-19 cases. But the World Health Organization's representative to Russia has said that the country is relatively less affected by the outbreak due to its early response.
Our recommendations from the very beginning are do not wait until it hits you and then start doing it. And this has been the trick or the secret in the Russian, I would say, delay of the epidemic. It is they have started already in January, while practically very few countries have put in place so many isolations and tests.
Meanwhile, Russia has shut down a famous Black Sea resort near the Winter Olympic destination of Sochi over virus fears. The country also closed its border with Belarus in a bid to contain the outbreak. Several trucks were seen lined up at the border crossing ahead of the shutdown. Meanwhile, Ukraine evacuated over 700 citizens from Russia via a special train. The head of the Russian Orthodox Church, the Patriarch Kirill, has held a service in Moscow despite calls from authorities to avoid mass gatherings. Interestingly, the Patriarch Kirill asked nearly 100 people who attended the mass to stay at home.
Церковь призывает сегодня до жертв в наших семьях принять на себя обязательства, строго исполнять все те предписания, которые сегодня предлагаются санитарными властями в России.
Earlier, we spoke with Julia Chapman from Moscow, and this is what she said.
Well, today, Moscow will begin its full lockdown for the very first time. There have been a number of gradual measures introduced in the capital, but as of today, Monday, the entire city has effectively been shut down, and residents have been told they are no longer allowed to leave their homes. Apart from a handful of exceptions, they're allowed to go to the nearest grocery store to pick up provisions. They can go seek medical help. They can walk a dog, but not very far from their home, and they can take out the garbage. And in many ways, this is a stricter lockdown than we've seen in other European cities like London and Paris, because Muscovites are being told they cannot even leave their homes to go for a walk or a short run. So they are effectively left inside for the foreseeable future. So far, the Moscow authorities say this will only go on for a week. And this came after President Putin last week announced a nationwide holiday for the entire country to stop working for a week in order to stop people from travelling to work and infecting one another, perhaps in their workplaces. But that was later clarified by the Prime Minister, Mikhail Mishustin, who said that if people could still work from home, they should continue to do so. And this was not a holiday in the traditional sense. But nevertheless, a number of Russians did fly south to Sochi, the resort city on the Black Sea, at which point they were told they could not check into hotels, they could not visit national parks, and more strict restrictions were brought into place there as well. So now people in Moscow are being told to stay home. That is not applicable to the rest of the country yet, but it is certainly in Moscow where we've seen the highest number of cases, which exceeded 1,000 over the weekend, and the national total is just over 1,500 now.